Okay, so welcome to episode 1 of Soundtrack of Our Lives, which is where we'll be talking with local business people, well, national business people in fact, about their music and what's influenced their lives and the things that have that they've looked back on with fond memories, and it takes them back to a certain moment in time, or it's very special because it's to do with their family. And as you can see this morning, I'm with Jace, who runs Stoic Alchemist, which is a well-being and mental health support community. I think I might be slightly wrong in what I'm saying there.
Sounds good.
Yeah, but you're sort of working with people from sort of sole traders through to, you know, large corporations with teams spread across the country or even across the globe, and supporting them with their mental health and their well-being, emotional support, sort of physical well-being and things like that. So if you just sort of want to tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think you covered it really well there.
Yeah.
It's basically a protocol that businesses incorporate, and it's a preventive well-being protocol instead of a reactive protocol, and that just allows businesses to deal with the problems before they get rooted, and allows them to just grow and in their profits and on the business side, but it also helps the people for free. They get access to all this stuff for free because the company fronts the small fee that allows them access to the lives, the recorded content. So there's always something that they can be involved in that's going to help them grow in mind, body or spirit.
Excellent. Okay, and for anyone who's interested, as always, the links will be dropped in the comments below the video, so you can follow Jace on social media and connect with him on his website and get in touch if that's something that resonates with you.
Cool.
And yeah, there we go. We're going to get straight into, I suppose, the first question. Music. I'm not going to sing because I have no singing talent at all.
I don't either, but I might.
Yeah, you might give it a go. And so what I've done with all the guests is I've just sent them a link and asked them to fill out a couple of questions where they choose the songs that matter to them, really. And the first one on Jason's list, I think it was to do with reminding you of your kids, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, there was a question about what song reminds you of your kids. So I've got thousands of children.
Lots of them. It's like the Waltons, isn't it?
It is a little bit.
Just without a mountain, yeah.
Yeah, to come.
So yeah, that's to come, yeah.
To be continued. We'll have a mountain soon. But yeah, I've got 4 children, and obviously there's songs that remind me of all of them, but also that are created for all of them. So they've all got their own theme tune. This
is what interested me when we were speaking about this, that they all come with their own theme tune. And yeah. I've known Jace, as we've worked out yesterday, for 11 years now. Yeah. And you've got fantastic kids, and they've all got their own unique little character. Yeah. And it's great that now they've actually got their own little theme tune as well, which is brilliant.
These all came from when they were younger. You know, it's like soothing kind of mechanisms. As I've gone through my own journey, obviously, with Dream, my youngest, my baby, he's got his song that they just come, they just flow. Like at some point you'll just be holding them, and then a song will just come, and you just start singing it. It's got their name in it because my kids have got unique names, haven't they? So yeah, it's there's not a song out there like Roxanne. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not that you'd sing that to a baby. Well, you might if you called it Roxanne.
You might do. Yeah. The social might get involved.
Especially start screaming at it. Roxanne. But they'll never have like songs with their names in. So I create these little jingles, and Tash, my wife, she says like I've missed out on a trick because she thinks that's my calling. Yeah. She thinks creating jingles is should have been what I did in life, you know, like for cereal and stuff like that. A bit like what's his name from the 2.5 Men?
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen, yeah.
It's like
you just make the jingle and
yeah, you're Charlie Sheen. That's what you should have done.
Yeah, set for life, then, aren't you? Yeah. You just get your little ditty out there, and it just make your money forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So there's still time yet. So
yeah.
Still.
I think that's something I'll go into eventually. That's an eventuality because the kids all like their music as well. So Jaylee likes her piano. Gianna just likes hitting things, as you can imagine. Yeah. She's the rebel of the 3.
She's the craziest.
Yeah. Exactly.
Of the group, isn't she?
Yeah. So she's definitely a drummer.
Yeah.
Whether it be on a drum or a head or whatever. But yeah, they've all got their own theme tunes, and like I was saying with Drake and with Dream, his got a theme tune, but as well his soothing and how he's soothed is just low tones, like more voice tone, but like more like a shamanic rhythm.
It's that real deep sound.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to go too deep. It's just like a.
I've seen you do this actually, and he just kind of just sat us right down.
It's just like that.
Yeah, done.
Yeah, and then at the end, obviously, like what the universe, like they say that the universe was created from sound, don't they? And the first sound the Hindus believe was the Om, so the Om. And if you listen, if you stick your ear out into space, but if you listen to like recordings of like space or anything that's like, or even you listen to recordings of like silence, if you listen deep enough, there is that like constant, like a, not like a, it's kind of like an Om almost, but like an Om starting over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And you hear that kind of like that.
Just constantly sort of repeating.
Yeah. And that's said to be the first noise in the Hindu belief, the Om. It's actually Am, A-U-M, the Alpha, the Omega, the whatever. I don't know the full thing, but the Om, when you hold him in there like that, or if he's just having a bit of a just look at him and just hold him, put him to my chest like that, and just go,
You have to consider deep sea diving because you can hold your breath for quite long, can't you?
Yeah. Big,
wow.
big lung capacity.
Yeah. And he just relaxes
he
it completely, and
he just goes. You might start up again after that, but you can just repeat that
it.
or that and then that, and then a little dance with it as well. It's like and then you use the bounce with the and that allows for like a bit more of a relaxing, because it's like a natural wave form.
Yeah.
And it creates in the voice, because you're not coming from your vocal cords, you're coming from your stomach with that noise. You're coming from deep with your breath. Oh, it's being pushed up. And
is that something that works with all of the children? Every single one of them?
Yeah,
I'm just wondering, because it's not something I've ever done. As a parent, it's the usual, the rocking and the put them in a pushchair, take them for a walk, turning the TV up until you drown them out or whatever. Obviously not for legal purposes. It's a
lot of people use the shh, again, the noise. White noise. Yeah. Let's just simulate white noise, but parents don't do it right. No. White noise is supposed to be calming. When you've got a baby and you go shh, they're going,
quite stressful, isn't it? Why are you so angry?
Exactly. Shh, shut up. Shh. But it's that. So it sounds like the sea.
I think also parents go over the top with keeping things quiet, and children don't adjust to noise. I know certainly my sister got 3 of her own, and she would go, she loves her cleaning, and she would hoover, do whatever, washing, bang about, and kids are asleep, and they just get used to the noise, so it doesn't matter so much. Whereas a lot of parents seem to want to keep this silent bubble, and then wonder why kids wake up when there's a noise.
Exactly.
It's not used to it.
That's exactly it. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's a bit guilty of it. My partner does it sometimes, like, because often we've got a million other children with a baby, and you're trying to keep that baby quiet. So with the others, you're like, just be quiet, we're trying to get Dream to sleep, just don't talk, and then you're constantly like, shh, Dream's falling asleep. But then you take him out, and you're in a coffee shop, and it's like in the background, and he's fast asleep. And it's like, well, it's not the noise, is it? It's usually the surprise.
Yeah.
Like maybe like a child going, Papa! Or, do you know what I mean? And then it's like, and it startles them.
It should startle anyone, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So it's not about being quiet. It's about just allowing them to regulate with the noise in the background. Just allowing them to understand that. That's kind of like gone off into a
We've gone off into sound tangent, but it's fine. It's all relevant.
But yeah, but in regards to the music that reminds me of my children, we'd have to start with Dream, I think, because Dream's the newest, and we'll work our way backwards. But Dream's song is Ed Sheeran, Sandman. Mainly because that's what Tasha's always played to him to make him fall asleep.
Yeah.
So it's not even Ed Sheeran Sandman anymore, it's Play Dream Song.
It's been retitled on Spotify officially, yeah.
Well, the thing is, in Sandman as well, and I think that's why it is his song. Obviously, Dream, my boy, is spelled with a J, I-E-A-M. But in Sandman, it's hanging out with the Sandman, and it's got like
and it's referencing
dreams hanging. It says Dream hanging out, and it goes and Dream hanging out with the Sandman. So all we do, instead of saying and Dream, it's like you go and dream, hang out with Sandman. We say Dream. And comma.
Yeah.
Is hanging out with that Sandman. So we put like a little is in there.
Yeah.
Dream is hanging out with the Sandman. So we like kind of like twerk it to our own little tweak it.
Yeah,
we just sit there with our butts in his face.
Again, social services all day long. Yeah.
So yeah, that was Dreams one, and then Jayana, the crazy one. So this one only reminds me of Jayana because it's her soul. It's like there's loads of crazy songs that remind me of her because she's a nutter and she just dances around and she's like got really good rhythm for a 3-year-old. But the one song that really reminds me of is a song called Lokah, and it actually takes words from a Hindu prayer. I'm not Hindu in any way, obviously, but there's a lot of belief systems around the Hindu belief that coincide more with spirituality than religion. And Lokah, there's almost like a prayer. It says Lokah samasta sukhinu bhavantu, and its deepest meaning, as far as I understand what I've been told, is to all the people in all the worlds, to all the beings in existence across the universe, we send peace, we send love, we send gratitude and fulfillment in every aspect of life. So like,
it's pretty profound, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
But this song that this guy's done is kind of like put a bit of like a reggae mix to it. So you're saying this prayer and you're feeling the music from it and the words from it, and you've got this like Lokah samasta sukhino bhavantu, live life happy and free, and it kind of like does this kind of Jamaican kind of beat, two-step beat thing, and it's got a really nice rhythm to it, and with the words behind it and everything, it's just got a really nice rhythm. And Jayana will just sit in a chair just singing it like Lokah samasta and it's like live life happy and free. It's just really funny. Yeah. So that always reminds me, whenever they get something in them that shows their inner self, that's when I'm like, that song reminds me of them.
Yeah.
Draco, my boy, my 8-year-old, he's got two. There's because Draken's a mover and he doesn't know it. He can just naturally dance and it just looks amazing. Like he moves, his body waves effortlessly. And there's two songs that he's always danced to. There's a Billie Eilish song called Headache, and a song by Imagine Dragons, Believer. And Believer's like that. Pick me up, you pick me up, believer,
yes.
believer. And he's very much into those kind of songs because it's a bit like a gamer kind of thing, you know, like a fighting kind of thing. Yeah. And then Bellyache is a bit more like flowy, like, because it's like a remix. I don't really know the words of it, I can't tune that one, if that makes sense. But before he dances, he just kind of stands there, he closes his eyes and just goes, and then he just goes, like it's just tuned into something else, and the music just flows through his body, like he's just a natural, like he is the music, and he flows like the music goes. Like if it's slow and wavy, he does this, and then when it's a bit crazy, he's on the floor and he's doing like this crazy breakdancing stuff that has never been taught, but he looks like a professional.
Yeah, just does it.
Yeah, and he's just moving, and it's just like, what is that? That is just ridiculous. And yeah, he's definitely got a talent there. But yeah, and I think with the last one, which is Jaylee, my eldest, she's 11, and it's another Ed Sheeran song because we used to sing it to her at bedtime, an older one.
Yeah.
As you can imagine, Tash is a Ed Sheeran fan. This is less about my music, but you know, the We Found Love.
Yeah.
That song, and you just lie there. And I didn't know the song, so Tash used to sing it to her to make her sleep, and then obviously the nights that I'd be putting her to sleep, it would take longer, and I didn't know the song, so I had to learn the song to try and get her to sleep. So
that what worked.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the chorus and verse way that Tash sings it isn't the song. So when I try and do it the actual song way, Jaylee would be like, "That's not it." So then I had to learn it how Tash. So I'd be standing by the door, trying to learn it how the format that Tash sang it in,
Tash remix,
like a bastardised Tash remix. Yeah. So I'd have to learn that. So that's Jaylee, and also anything Alan Walker. She's crazy about Alan Walker songs. Like it's just like the rhythm, and she's all about like badass drops. Like a song that starts like do 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 do, and then goes
suddenly just hits it.
Yeah, and she's like that. like her inner because she's quite reserved, Jaylee, as you know, and she'll just sit and she'll just be there. And then when she's got her music on and she'll just be doing this kind of thing, and then all of a sudden she'll sit reading a book with her headphones on. She'll sit reading a book and she's like that, and then she'll just be like that.
Just hits the moment.
And the head goes, yeah. And again, she's become amazing dancer. When Jaylee was younger, she lacked coordination. Like she'd try and dance, but she'd try and dance. So there was so much trying there, she wouldn't feel the music. And she's worked really hard over the years, to the point where now when she dances, it looks like it's choreographed. Like the try has turned into an effortless choreography.
Yeah.
And now she's got all the moves in there, all the, you know, and she doesn't know social media. She's not been introduced to it, so she doesn't know what TikTok is or anything. She knows what TikTok is, but she doesn't know the whole all the stuff that the TikTokers do, you know, the dancing in sync. But she's just come up with this natural choreographed moves that she will link in, do the same dance for a chorus, and then do the verse dance, and then
back
she knows the chorus dance again, and it's the same moves again in the same order. So she's like, but you can tell, well, I can tell that she's thinking of it on the spot. She hasn't rehearsed it.
Yeah.
She's doing it, and it looks choreographed, but she's thinking about it on the spot, and it's all this like Alan Walker stuff, with anything with a big drop in really it that's like
thumping suddenly. It just goes, and she
can beatbox.
Yeah.
So that's a massive skill. So because I taught her how to do the voice and the beat, so like the and she can do that. So she does like this singing with her throat bit, and then she like beatbox like what's a good example? Like Usher, like
oh yes, yeah,
like that kind of thing. Then it's like doing the beat and the hi-hats at the same time as the lower notes. Yeah, and she does it all the time. She'll go off and just like be beatboxing for herself. So they've all got their individual quirks around the areas of music, and they've all got their own what they enjoy.
It's quite, they're as unique, their likes are as unique as they are, because they're considering that, you know, all four have grown up, been brought up in the same household.
Yeah, and they're homeschooled as well, obviously. So they don't even go off different groups of people all the time. Often they've got their individual friends and whatever, but their friends go to school.
Yeah.
But they, like you say, they're so close knit, and we are close knit as a family, as you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, their personalities. It just goes to show that it's not all environment.
No.
There's something deeper.
No, there's something. I think there's something fundamental, isn't there? That it's just in you, and no matter what your environment, you're your own person.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like that's the line. Obviously, you take some of that destiny into your free will. People always say, I wrote something about this the other day, you know, and people always ask, what, you know, is it destiny or is it free will? You know, it's like it's one or the other, and the paradox is it's actually both. I believe that destiny is the lowest form of human effort. it's like the bottom line. That's your destiny. You know, you go from there to there. If you don't do anything about anything, or if you just follow whatever, that will be your destiny.
Yeah.
But free will comes from initiative and intuitive action. So if you can act on intuitive action, then this takes your free will off on a different tangent into different realities, which will allow you to be able to make those decisions that are for a higher self, for a better you and for a better future. And I think that's the difference, and that's how life takes you on these different tangents, and where you could end up destiny. Oh well, it's just destiny. That's usually the excuse, isn't it? Oh well, it's destiny, isn't it? Well, I suppose it was meant to be that way. So no.
And it seems like an excuse maybe, because actually if you take some action, then something will change, won't it? I think
definitely.
There's a sort of fundamental basis behind that. But,
exactly. And then the paradox is that some people say, well, maybe that's destiny, that you did take the action. But see, I mean, that's why it's a paradox. Both realities are true.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Okay.
That's what I think.
Interesting thoughts. Yeah. And then, so I think that wraps up for the children's songs.
Yeah.
So the second choice, I can't recall now because I can't see the four from here, but it was something to do with whatever it was on your form. Was it a song at your wedding?
Your wedding song, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Which was a fantastic day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there, I was doing the photos.
Yeah, which was really cool. On the wedding day we had Antarma, who is an awesome dude. He is a Hindu guy, and he kind of like hosted the whole day. He did the ceremony for us, the hand fasting ceremony, and Tash came out to a song by Garrett, which wasn't Freebird, it was Follow the Sun by Garrett. And she was determined that was the song she was going to come out to, because that was the song that I proposed to her. So we can go deep into that if you want, but the proposal came from, because I was always into the impression I'm never going to get married. Never going to get married, there's no point, you know, I'm with you, you're with me, you know, it's just extra money, but we didn't even end up spending a lot of money on our wedding. It was just the most awesome day.
Yeah, it was a superb day.
Yeah, and it was the hottest day of the year last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So everyone was like, great day, but where's the air conditioning? But with the proposal, so it happened after an ayahuasca journey. So we've spoke about ayahuasca before. Yeah. Ayahuasca is a medicine that allows you access to other areas of reality, of your subconsciousness and all that sort of stuff. And it came to me during that, you know, to move forward in the reality that we wanted to move forward in, that I was to propose to her. So obviously you sit with it for a moment and you make sure it's the right decisions, obviously, because you can't trust those sort of snap decisions. Yeah. But it was a very surreal moment. Anyone who's ever done anything like ayahuasca or taken part in those sorts of ceremonies will know that it is a life-changing experience. But it was, it was very surreal, very unique on this moment. I got back and the song, Follow the Sun, was playing in the ceremony as people were coming out of their journeys, and as that song came on, those were the thoughts, those were the lessons that were being taught to me about proposing. This is what Tash wants. This is how we move forward. If you know, to create a wholesome family and create a unit, this is what's going to bring everybody together. And it's not about the certificates and all the legal side of things. It was never about that, because that doesn't matter to us. Yeah. That's why we did a hand fasting ceremony. It's about dedicating yourself to your partner and your family, and allowing them to know that the safety is there, and that together we move forward as a community, as a tribe. Yeah. And that's what that's all about. So that song played. I played it as I proposed to her with the kids there. Yeah. And then, bearing in mind, we'd been together like 10 years at this point.
Yeah, so together a long time.
Yeah, we've been together a long time. We'd already had 3 children at this point. And then she played it walking down the aisle. And then after we'd done that, after the ceremony, Antarma came up behind when everyone was doing the photos. He got his little guitar and got his foot up here, stood on his one leg, leaning on his guitar, and he starts playing a song that he's wrote, which is available on Spotify, called Om Shakti. If you get a chance, please search up Antarma. He's amazing.
He's such
singer.
a cool guy, isn't he?
Yeah,
his
wicked
whole
guy.
vibe is
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
And he's just all about the music, and he's all about helping people, and the music he puts out there, it comes from here and it hits here as well. So yeah, it's Om Shakti is one of his songs, and that's one of Tash's favourite songs. And while we were getting the photos, he was there playing it, which then obviously brought up emotions for Tash. And then later on, we've done a few bits. We all sat and had a cacao ceremony, and everyone had a drink of cacao. We did like a bit of a sharing circle. And then I suppose what would have been our first dance would have been the Djembe.
Yeah.
Which is completely off the
Totally off the wall, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't like Ed Sheeran or like a normal song where people like watch the husband and wife dance, and the husband and wife are kind of like, why are we doing this? Tradition, just shut up. It wasn't like that. And Tama just got up and he got his djembe, which is like a big, it's like that high
like
off
a
the
cylinder
floor.
drum, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that high off the, well, some people are listening to this, aren't they? So
Yeah.
it's about 1 metre high cylinder with a skin over the top. And he just plays it with his hands. And me and Tash got up first, and he's like, got the drum, and he's like, it's like, got this. It's not, it doesn't look like this for anyone, but it's like a, I can't really do it, but it's like a, it's better with two hands because it is a, because that's with the stick, but it's like a, isn't it? It's like a,
yeah, it's fairly tribal, and it was got everybody up, didn't it? Moving and enjoying themselves.
Yeah, like that kind of thing, where it's like a, and then me and Tash, and like it's more of like a, everyone's jumping around and dancing and just letting their bodies move the way that the body feels like it wants to move, instead of like being all formal. And then once we'd got up, then everybody was up, and then we formed a massive, like, almost like a conga line around the room with this drum. And even Tash's nan, who's 85, was up, and we've got a video of it like this.
Like, he was in the moment.
Yeah, really in the moment, because he got to a bit and he was like hitting the drum, and he was like building the energy, because that's what the drum does, doesn't it? It rises the energy, which is why shamans use it, like this drum here, like they use it to bring up certain energies, certain traumas, and they know what beats and what's the beat pattern called?
Rhythm,
thank you. And what rhythms do certain things inside certain people.
Certain emotions, don't they, and feelings.
Exactly that, yeah. So he's doing that, and Tash's nan's like that in the corner going with her head in her hands, and it's like crazy, and Tash is always looking at that because obviously her nan's old now, and the nan pretty much raised her.
Yeah.
So that would be a video I
think
she'll watch for a very long time. Yeah. And while she's doing it, Antarma was looking at her going like that with his massive grin like that, which was amazing. But yeah, very non-traditional, very amazing day with some awesome music, and like I say, Antarma. That's another thing as well. Antarma has just released a new song as well, which is another one for Dream's song, because it came out recently, and it's another one that helps him sleep, other than Sandman by Ed Sheeran. And it's called You Are Loved, and he actually wrote this song for his daughter because she was struggling with mind issues and things like that.
Oh, right.
And she passed before he released it. I don't think he'll mind me saying, but it's
wow.
But yeah, it's a very, very heartwarming song that as soon as you listen to it, you're just like, oh my god. You're like, whoa, there's so much emotion in his voice and in the song, and it's just really.
So there's a new channel coming out where you'll be copying the moves from this Final Fantasy character with this oversized sword, And having tried it myself last week,
Yeah.
and I can attest, I go to the gym a couple of times a week, but this is not an easy thing to even just hold out in front of you.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just going to reach behind it and grab this, just so people can get an idea of the ridiculousness of this sword. Because you have to see it to believe it.
Yeah,
So that's what you're going to be wielding.
Yeah. So it goes around the concept of leverage training. So it's very similar to like your mage training. You see the handle and stuff. That's kind of like the concept. But I'm hoping it's going to help some people that are into the similar things, swords, games, whatever, that usually spend all their time sat on a computer and don't really get anything else out of it.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can lean in towards it and be a bit like, actually, that looks really cool, I want to learn that and get some movement in. And also I want to hit some like Stoic Alchemy in there as well.
Yeah.
And I think get some philosophies and some mindset stuff that's going to allow them to just, relate to the game, but also open up to a world of other possibilities as well.
Yeah, there's things so it's still something they're interested in.
Yeah.
But also that it's involving other elements of their lives, and whether it's movement or practice of the discipline.
Yes, they can incorporate the mindset.
I think you were saying
some meditation with it.
You obviously will get you can get a smaller sword made up, because that's quite something to go straight to that. Just to get the practice in.
Yeah. Well, it's 7-8 kilos.
Yeah.
I haven't weighed it properly yet, but that's what I was told. And I want to get a heavier one now. I do need a heavier one, because once you've gotten used to the momentum and the swing and the movement with it, it's
like anything. You have to go heavier and progress and things.
Yeah, so I do want a 9 to 12 kilo one, mate.
Yeah,
definitely.
Same size, or
it'll be the same
size, or just way
I'm
more?
going to go for the Buster Sword again, same size. Because you can do the same sort of thing with like maces, which is a great start. Mace work, and the Indian clubs. Yeah. Similar sort of thing, but I like the challenge with this because it's longer. So it changes the lever, changes the dynamics of the weight, makes it a bit more challenging, and also you do have to start incorporating a bit more skill so you don't knock yourself out. Yeah, because you don't want that. No. Looping around and hitting you in the head, because you will know about it. First time I had to go with it, as soon as you're like, whoa.
It really first time I had to go, doesn't it?
I caught the back of my head, so I ended up with a massive lump on the back of my head, and I nearly took my toe off and ended up with a massive hole in my foot because I just sliced through my foot. Yeah, and I was like, whoa. Yeah. Didn't want to look. I kept my sock on it for a couple of hours before I looked, because I was like, feels wet. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it. I'll check that out when I finish training.
It feels moist in the sock.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the concept behind that, and I think that's that's
cool.
The journey with the sword.
And then I think if we're probably the last question then was the of all the options that you chose, you went for I think the song that you would play at your funeral. Yeah. That was. But going back into that because there was the song that motivated you gym training, which links into that as well. Yeah. And for that one, I did choose like a Legends Never Die by League of Legends. Yeah. Because again, it's one of those like epic songs. Reminds me of Draken as well, because that's his kind of song. Yeah. Also Jaylee as well, because it does have a drop in it. Because it's like a Legends never die, do 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 do, and it kind of like, I don't know. It's these sorts of songs. It sounds weird. Swells the hero in you. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So it like starts slow. So it starts, and I create stories in my head. So I will. This is where like my book writings come from and stuff. Yeah. I'll create a scenario in my head and I'll play a story, and I'll just let it play in my head. And this is how I fall asleep. And I'll let a story play in my head, and I don't know what's going to happen next. So these things just kind of like happen in my head, and I'm like, it's like watching a movie before I go to sleep, basically. And these sorts of songs, these epic songs from video games, from movies. If you search AMVs on YouTube, AMV, it's animated music video, and they put these kinds of songs in the background of like from this game, for example, Final Fantasy VII videos, or
Dragon Ball Z, or where like it's a bit of fighting, but it always starts with like the hero a bit down, like been beaten, he's weakened, and it's like that slow, like legends never die, do 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 do, and it builds, and it's nice and slow, and like this is it's the hero's journey, isn't it? In a song, and we live for the hero's journey because we live it in macro and micro circles. The hero's journey is if you look up hero's journey, it's basically what every story is made out of. Books, movies, video games, but also our personal lives on an aspect as well. So it's a really interesting topic to look into. But you're starting down and out, it builds, the hero gets a bit of extra power, or he reaches his sword, puts battle in, trying to protect someone or something that he cares about, and he's driving, and then successful, but either successful and wins everything, or successful in a sacrificial method kind of thing, like I've won but I've lost
comes
something
at a price.
Comes at a price, and then that circle starts again, and that's what these songs kind of swell up in you, I think, and that's what kind of thing that I would listen to when I'm training, or nothing, or a book, like an ebook,
but we don't talk about them.
no, there's nothing to do with music, so.
No.
But and like I say, just going into the dead thing.
Which I thought was an interesting question to put on the sheet, because for some people it is quite important, even though obviously you're not going to be here. But it says a lot about how you perceive that you've lived your life, and kind of the message you would want to leave, or the feeling that you want to leave with people on that day that you're gone. So it's quite interesting.
It is, and I think people avoid death massively in itself anyway. I think it's become in our society a topic of avoidance when it's an inevitability. So it kind of needs addressing, but it's also been put in a negative light, when all it is change. It's going through the chaos to come out the other end. No one knows what happens after death, so there's no point in fearing it.
And there's no one gets out of here alive, as they say.
Exactly.
Exactly.
No one gets out of here alive, and it is something that's going to happen, and we need to teach our kids not to fear it. Yes, it's sad when you're not going to see someone forever, and you can let those emotions go, but if we fear it, we're going to suppress those things, and we're going to hold on to those things, and attachment creates fear. If you're attached to the fact that someone you love has died, and you never let go of it, that's always going to cycle back. It's always going to cycle back. It's never going to dissipate. But if you can accept it, release it, be happy about the times that you shared, because everything's a moment. The moment that we shared yesterday is gone, but we're not going to mourn it. But that's because we know we're going to see each other again at some point. But if you can cycle around the belief that this is just a moment, and after death there's just moments, then in some aspect, whether it be energetic, source, rebirth, whatever, you'll see all these people in form or not in form again. We're all part of the same thing, it's all one. And I think when people start to hold on to the negative aspects of death, that's when we start to fear and expel the fear and not want to have these things happen. And when we don't want things to happen, we then start to live and act out of those fears. And that's why death is an important subject for children, so they don't act out of fear because of death. Do you know what I mean? Because it's going to happen.
It's inevitable, isn't it?
But the song I chose for funeral is Sam Garrett again, which is the same as the proposal song singer. It's called Free Bird. And again, this came from like a knowing that that's what will happen, because it was at the end of my ayahuasca journey, and I'd already been through a lot of rebirths and deaths in that journey. And at the end, when everything cleared and I was stood at an altar, candles, everything quietened down, even though there was, I don't know, 20, 30 people there, including the support people, and everything just went quiet, just this candle and just this song, The Free Bird, and I just remember just my heart opening and just being like, beginnings, middles, ends, whatever, this is what it's about, this moment.
Yeah, just, that was it.
Yeah, that was it. And the song, like I can't listen to the song now without feeling it in my heart and without emotion and without crying, basically.
Yeah.
It makes me cry every time I listen to it. I can't not listen to it and cry. And not cry, sorry. And it's not a sad cry.
No.
It's just a
raw emotion.
It's just raw. Exactly. Great word. It's just raw, and it's just a knowing that everything boils down to that moment. Everything that we do in this life
all just culminates.
Yeah, and it will inevitably come down to that final moment.
Yeah.
No matter what you've done in your life, and then whatever happens after that.
Yeah.
We'll only know when we're there.
When we get there, won't we?
Exactly. But yeah, it's definitely a really, if you get a chance to listen to it, Sam Garrett, Free Bird. But don't just listen to it on the fly.
Yeah, just sit and take a moment.
Sit and just listen to the words, and it's got like a bird noise in the background. His voice is amazing, and the kind of what's going on in the background, like there's like the bird noise that's not just like a tweet 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 like a Mary Poppins thing. It's like powerful birds. You can hear like eagles. I was
going to say like majestic birds.
Yeah, and the wind, and it's just a crazy experience if you can really sit into your heart and listen to a song. Any song that you like, if you feel a connection with the song, I'd say, if you feel a connection with the song and you enjoy listening to it, normally, sit with the song, try and tap into the heart and see what actually comes from it.
Yeah.
See what it means to you. I think that's...
Sometimes not sometimes, most often we will listen to songs in passing because it will I don't know, maybe we'll be at an event or it might be in the car while we're driving, but actually sometimes if you would just sit and really listen, and you might pick up on lyrics that you weren't really, that weren't prominent in your head before, and when you really listen to them, they make much more sense and they resonate a lot more because you've sat and embraced it without the rush of I've got to get to a meeting or I'm with my friends and we're having drinks or we're out for or whatever it is. You just sit and really immerse yourself in it, and it can make it different. Yeah, it can make it feel different.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think that's the difference in feeling music and listening to music.
Yeah,
that's the difference in like being a part of the music. Like, everything is vibration, everything is frequency, isn't it? And that's what we're inherently made of. You know. Yeah. Colour, sound, colour, everything. It's all made of these vibrations that we link to and that we resonate with, and when we start to feel and get pulled to certain songs and feel in certain areas of our body what they are, then that's basically telling us that song or that rhythm or that frequency is a part of us in some way, shape or form. Yeah. To maybe look a little bit deeper into what it means to you. Yeah, definitely. It might unlock something. Might reveal something, yeah. Okay. All right. I think that's the episode done. That was the last question. Thanks for being the first guest. Thank you. I will drop all the links to your socials, everyone you've mentioned. I'll also put all the songs in the comments as well, so people can have a listen to them. Yeah. And then let me know what you think in the comments. And like and subscribe to the channel and share, and look forward to the next episode. Thumbs up, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Click the little bell button, notify, all that jazz.